I love being on the water, I think, and it's because it's a landscape that changes every day, every minute of every day.
I love that you get up in the morning and you walk into this big room and it's as if you're on a ship. I'd like to say I'm the captain of the ship.
Generally, you are. I'm Gil Schafer.
I'm Courtnay Daniels.
And we're here at our house on the coast of Maine. I used to come here as a kid, visiting my aunt and uncle who had a house not too far from this spot where the house is during the summers, and loved it. And so when I got to New York as a working person and wanted to find a place to go for a summer vacation, I started renting houses up here, and that's how I found this house. And when I was renting it, I found out that it was for sale, and I was so captivated, less by the house than by the site and its position on the water, with the water wrapping around the property. And I thought, well, maybe I could do something with this house. It looked quite different than it does now. Because it was a fairly neutral box, it allowed me to do things to it without it already having too much of a signature done by somebody else, because it was more just a timber frame barn in a sense. It couldn't be a traditional shingled Maine, classic Maine house that I think of. So I had to kind of pivot a little bit in terms of stylistically, how I thought about it, architecturally. And so I really embraced the barnness of it and then changed whatever I could within that framework. So the color that we used here was a color called Sea Pearl, and our goal was to create something that read white but was not cold. It had a warmth to it. So it's kind of the color of milk, I always say. The deep green of the exterior was something that I thought of pretty early on because I wanted the house to kind of settle into the site and almost disappear. I often work with a color consultant named Eve Ashcraft. So when I started with that idea of the green, we kind of got into the decks and finally settled on the one that we did. I love colors that play off of each other, and so I thought it would be fun to have a door that had some punch against that dark green. So I came across this color called Charlotte's Locks, which has that orangey redness to it. In the front hall, I didn't really change the space all that much from the original house, but obviously all the detailing, I added all the wood on the walls. I didn't want to use sheetrock as much as possible. I wanted to avoid using sheetrock. And so it's just paneled like a barn with horizontal siding. The stair I also redesigned and made the railings to look like ship rails. I wanted to give that nautical feel to the railings in the house that are again echoed by the railings that you have out on the deck that face the water. Because we love to keep as many doors open as possible, and it's breezy being on the water, I'm a big believer in doorstops, and so we try to find as many quirky doorstops as we can. I wanted the house to have a little library, and so I was able to find a little bit of space on this side of the house, and it's one of the smallest rooms in the house. It's only about 10 feet wide. And I also wanted a room that was woody, but panel rooms can be really expensive to make. So I had the idea to make this room a wood room, but to make it out of plywood rather than paneling like I would do in one of my traditional houses. So these walls are all just made from white oak plywood and then given a really beautiful finish. And it has this wonderful kind of dry, slightly old finish to it, which I really love. And then the color relates in a really nice way to the seaweed that you see outside the windows. As you can imagine, Maine is a place that is sunny and bright, but it can also be foggy and cold sometimes, and so it's really nice to have a cozy room like this. In terms of finding things for this house, I think probably I found most of the things initially, but then once we were together and married, one of the things we love to do together is the hunt, I think, and we're always looking for things up here.
Maine is a great resource for the pottery or the little things, and we have favorite dealers that we always...
And baskets.
Yeah, baskets.
And just little objects, which I kind of get at a certain point get out of control.
And we do edit each other. And I think we've gotten to a point now that we're not afraid to say, I don't think so. Or we have too much of that, or there's no room for that. And I think that all the little layers that we've added to the house, like add to the interest and the soul in the house, and it just looks lived in, which is nice.
And they're memories too.
Yeah, they are
of
memories.
when you found them.
Yeah.
Or something.
I have to say my favorite piece in the house is the big, huge basket you actually found that's by the front door. I love that.
That's funny. For me, I think my favorite piece in the house is probably, it's this pair of wicker chairs. Found those at Blackman Cruise in LA, and they are so comfortable, but they also look cool. One of my missions in redoing this house was to make much more of the windows. And so I raised all the headers of the windows to be up as high as possible, created a lot more glass than was in the original house, so that you could maximize the connection to the nature of this place. And we absolutely do. We throw the windows open the minute we walk in. There's big sliding glass doors. You just feel and hear the nature of the place. You hear the lobster boats in the distance, you hear the loons out on the water, and the sound of the tide coming in and out. It's really part of the magic of this place. It is a big room. It's about 32 feet in each direction, and that was a little confounding initially in terms of how to do a furniture plan. And what I decided in the end was to make 2 back-to-back seating groups. So there's one that faces out to the water here, and then the other one that faces in toward the fireplace and the television, so that you have almost like a daytime's place to sit and an evening place to sit. One of the reasons that Courtnay and I met was because of the interior designer, Suzanne Reinstein, who was a great family friend of hers and a friend of mine. And this chair actually came out of her shop in Los Angeles. And it's a wonderful way for us to remember her, because she was such a big part of both of our lives. When I'm designing a bedroom for a house, I'm always trying to get more than one exposure to the outdoors, to get light in from more than one side of the room. And we put the primary bedroom at this end of the house, at the western end at the corner, so we can get windows on 2 sides and a set of doors that open out to the water. We use the same color for the woodwork everywhere in the house, the sea pearl. Then for the few moments in bedrooms where we might have a little bit of color, I use different soft colors. So here it's a soft blue on the walls. I love a 4-poster bed in a room, but I didn't want to go to the expense of that. So I used a trick that the decorator David Hicks often did, which was to basically hang bed hangings from the ceiling and create the illusion of a 4-poster bed. So this is really just curtains that hang from the ceiling and create the sense of a 4-poster bed, which I think is still very cozy.
Living here is a calmer way of life. I mean, I don't think we get that time to really sit down, for me personally, to like cook a meal or to read a book or to, I love to needlepoint, so I'll sit in one of those chairs and needlepoint. Whereas in New York, I feel like you're always on. You come home from work, you may have to go to dinner. It just is a much more hectic way of life.
And I've always said that you live differently in different places, or at least that was my experience growing up. And I think this house definitely illustrates that for us. I think we just really do live differently here. So by placing the kitchen island running long ways in the room, it helped to make some sense of division between the kitchen side of the room and the living side of the room. And then it created a kind of L in floor plan, so that we had a nice spot for a dining table off at this end, which is right next to the windows looking out to the water. So Maine is known for its granite, and I wanted to find a really fantastic piece of stone that could be used for the countertops. The other thing I love about this granite is when you see it from above, it looks like water. These wonderful stools that are made from walnut actually are made by a fantastic furniture maker in the Hudson Valley called Sawkill. I think they have a wonderful kind of shaker design to them, even though they're also a little bit modern. Adding dormers to the house created all sorts of possibilities for the upper floor here, whereas it was just kind of like an attic with just a window down at one end. By making dormers in the roof, like this one here, it suddenly made the possibility of having a real room up here. And so I made all the dormers wide so that you could have window seats in them, which I think are always nice in a guest room. Is it both a place to hang out, to sit and read, or just even to put your bag down when you come with your suitcase. The furniture is kind of an eclectic mix of English arts and crafts and mid-century, Danish, and just things that I found. I wanted to put fabric on the walls, but I wanted it to have a fairly tight pattern so that it would read as a kind of texture more than a visual that you would focus on. And I found this wonderful printed linen, and it kind of envelops you in a really wonderful way, which I think in an attic can feel really cozy. People always ask about the copper bands on the trees. Those actually have a utility to them. My arch nemesis, the porcupine, there's one porcupine or a family of porcupines that are always climbing our young trees and nibbling the ends of the limbs, and which is hard on the trees. It's like my arch nemesis. It's hilarious.
But also in Gil being who Gil is and the thoughtful architect and taking in the setting and everything like that, he put copper. Most people around here put aluminum, and he didn't like the aesthetics of it. And so we have the copper, which I'm grateful for, but
it is unusual looking. So I couldn't really change the shape of the house very much at all because of it had been built too close to the water, and now I wasn't allowed to really change the shape of it at all. What I could do was add dormers. The other thing I did was to extend the ridge line at the very end so that it's farther out at the top than it is down at the lower eave, again as a kind of gesture toward a ship's prow, to give that nautical feeling to the building. And then the rest of the house is really just simple clapboards, about 8 inches wide, painted that dark green.
if I could write a love letter to the house, it wouldn't be so much a love letter, but a thank you letter to the house. I think thanking it that it brings my husband such joy and happiness.
That's funny, because I was going to say the same thing. I would say that my love letter would be one of gratitude, I think, just for the opportunity to be in this beautiful place, to unplug, to be together. It's funny that we both thought the same thing. Gratitude, I think, would be my love letter.